endeavors. And remember, once a Buffalo, always a Buffalo. Let's give these seniors a big round of applause for their hard work and dedication to the McAlester Buffaloes.
Sun and shade.
Thus God give me the home where the buffalo roam, and thus God made McAlester. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mike Deke Field in McAlester, Oklahoma, your home for McAlester softball here in the fall, as the McAlester Lady Buffaloes are getting ready to do battle here on senior night against the Checotah Lady Wildcats. I'm your voice for the evening, Brandon Green, filling in for Chase McNutt, who's been covering McAlester volleyball and softball all season long. By the way, we do have another game that we are going to be broadcasting during the fall season, and that will be next Monday, and that will be the McAlester Lady Buffs volleyball team, and I believe they're going to be taking on. Will it be Checotah again, or am I? No, Glenpool. The McAlester Lady Buffaloes will be playing Glenpool next Monday, so Chase McNutt should be back on the call for that game, and that should start around 6:30. We'll be video streaming that on our YouTube channel as well. But again, this is Brandon Green alongside Nate Brown, bringing you McAlester softball, fast pitch softball, brought to you by Consignment Exchange, Sam Wobbler's Freedom Board, and McAlester Clothing Consignment. So the McAlester Lady Buffaloes are coming off of a Tahlequah tournament in which they went 0-3. They're 2-16 on the season with their wins against Shawnee 5-4, where they lost to that same Shawnee Lady Wolves team 7-0 earlier in the season, and also beat Heavener here recently 14-2. So McAlester is actually, I believe, 2-3 in their last 5 games, despite being 2-16 on the season. So, and looking at some of the close games that they played, I mean, they lost to Tahlequah, who are the 5A4 district champions, 7-5. They lost to Collinsville, who are the 5A4 district runner-ups, 2-1. And then they lost to Grove here recently in the Tahlequah tournament, 4-1, and they are 11-14 on the season. So there's a lot of close games that McAlester softball and this young team has been playing, and they can build off of these close games and also possibly even a win here. I know that it hasn't been a great year for McAlester softball, but they're also, like we mentioned, a young team, as we're going to be talking about senior night here as well. They're a young team that can build on into the future, and what a good way to do it than against a really good Checotah Lady Wildcats team. Let's talk about them. From Class 4A, they're 23-11, coming off of a 14-17 season last year, so they have turned things around. They lost to Hilldale in the regional tournament. They are coming for everyone in 4A this year. Look at some of the games that they've won. They beat Class A number 3 Dewar 3-2. They beat a 6A school, Booker T. Washington, 4-3. They were also 5-1 in the Okmulgee Festival, where they outscored opponents by a combined score of 35-16. They were Salsaw Central Tournament runner-ups, losing to 2A Warner 1-0. And they have won now 4 games in a row. Again, 23-11 on the season, and they're looking to finish up the regular season for them as they get towards postseason play with big aspirations. So on one side of the aisle, you have McAlester looking to win on senior night, which they did last year against Collinsville, a team that had a better record than then as well, in fantastic fashion. Can McAlester and their Lady Buff softball team once again provide a little bit of a spark here on senior night to send out these seniors in fashion? This will be the last game that they play here at Mike Deke Field, at least scheduled-wise. We do not have McAlester versus Ada tomorrow, so that game will not be happening tomorrow. This is, as scheduled, the last game that will be played here on Mike Deke Field. McAlester Lady Buffs, well, for the season, the McAlester Lady Buffaloes will play one more game in the regular season. They travel to Eufaula a week from today before they start the regional tournament, where they're going to be going over to Pryor. So as we're about to have the starting lineups announced over the PA system, let's look at the starting lineups. Starting off with the Checotah Wildcats, again 23-11, led by head coach Levi Walker. Starting off with the catcher number 11, Kami Ham. She is leading off for the Wildcats. Batting second, the shortstop, number 2, Lena Van Diver. Van Diver at short. Batting third, the pitcher, number 24, Haley Prince. Prince inside the circle. Batting cleanup, the center fielder, number 7, Shaylin Casey. Casey in center field. Batting fifth, playing third base, number 13, Aurora Madewell. Madewell at the hot corner. Playing second base, batting sixth, number 14, another Madewell, Cheyenne Madewell. Again, other Madewell, Cheyenne at second base. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 1, Sydney West. West in left field. Batting eighth, playing first base, number 15, Sydney Hamilton. Hamilton at first. And batting ninth and rounding out the starting 9 for the Checotah Wildcats, the right fielder, number 8, Micaiah Black. Black in right field. The Checotah Lady Wildcats, they're wearing their black-on-black pinstripe unis with blue pinstripes faintly seen down the tops and bottoms with the blue numerals on the front and back. Now for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes, 2-16 on the year, led by head coach Holly Jernigan. 1 through 9 looks like this. Batting first, playing second base, number 19, Addison Pennington. Pennington at second base. Batting second, playing left field, number 23, Avery Alverson. Alverson in left field. Batting third, playing shortstop, number 2, Rylan Lesnow. Lesnow at short. Batting cleanup, the third baseman, number 21, Casey Woods. Woods at the hot corner. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 8, Kirsten Smith. Smith behind the plate. Batting sixth, the pitcher, number 24, Shiley Mason. Mason inside the circle. Batting 7th, the right fielder, number 4, Coral Coy. Coy in right field. Batting 8th, playing first base, number 20, Taylor Williams. Williams at first base. And batting 9th, the designated player, number 26, Bodie Nystrom. Nystrom, the designated player for the center fielder / flex player, number 3, Bailey Caldwell. Today's broadcast is brought to you by McAlester Clothing Consignment, Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, and Consignment Exchange, which was founded on the premise that new furniture was often out of reach of many families struggling to make ends meet. That was over 40 years ago. How much more is that true today? They have helped literally thousands of folks over the years, young couples just getting started, parents sending kids to school, or folks trying to stretch every dollar. Consignment has met the needs for all kinds of furniture and beds, and so much more. Remember, McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South. And before we get started with the national anthem, Nate, you've been watching this team all season long. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I just want to say from the first game that Chase and I called up into this game, we've really seen this team come far. I mean, they played a very good Stigler team on opening day. I believe they're around 24-7 right now is their overall record.
They're a team that's beat Checotah twice.
Right, and they've beaten multiple very good 6A teams. So just to see the improvement that this team has seen throughout the entire season, I'm pretty impressed, and I can't wait to see what they have here today.
And that sends us right into our national anthem. Let's send things down to the field of Mike Deek. Bart, are you ready?
Let's stickball.
All right, so again, the McAlester Lady Buffaloes have taken the field. Didn't get to mention their uniform combos if you are listening on radio. It is McAllister's black/white tops.
I was going to say, I love these jerseys. So the best way I can describe them, front half is black with white sleeves, gold lettering on the front. On the back, you've got a white jersey with black numerals with gold trim.
Have you seen them wear that
I have
year?
not seen them wear this, and I love it.
And then also the white pants for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes. Black visors here today. Again, the dimensions, if you've never known them, over at Mike Deek Field when it comes to softball, 210 all around the fence. Left field over to right field, left center, right center, dead center, doesn't matter. It is 210 around the world here. Let's look at the McAlester Ladies Buffaloes softball team defensively once more. Starting around the infield, you have Williams at first base, Pennington at second, Lesnow at short, and Woods at third. In the outfield, Alperson in left, Caldwell in center, and Coy in right. And the battery today for the Lady Buffaloes, you have Smith behind the plate and Shiley Mason inside the circle. So we're about to have our throwdown here as our first batter for the Checotah Lady Wildcats, led by head coach Levi Walker, will be Kami Ham, catcher number 11.
And I'm sure everyone will be thrilled to hear, as of right now, and I am knocking on wood as I'm saying this, no technical issues so far.
Well, now you've done us in right here.
I was knocking on wood while I said it. We're fine.
We
have both cameras, no audio issues.
No internet issues?
No internet issues. We are doing good today.
This is Brandon Green alongside Nate Brown. We're ready for the final home game of the regular season as scheduled for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes. Again, no game tomorrow against the Ada Lady Cougars. It'll be a righty-on-righty matchup as we get started. Looks like Ham digs in. She is ready. Mason is ready. She toes the rubber, begins the windup and the pitch. And then we have a called strike to begin the day. Low outside corner, and it's softball time here in the Heartland. Beautiful day here today at Mike Deek Field. Not a cloud in the sky, maybe a tad bit warm, 88 degrees at first pitch. The second pitch is a little high to the righty to move the count to even at 1-1 strike. If we have a game go 2 hours long tonight, should drop to about 75. Hardly any wind right now as the American flag in center field is completely still. And we have the first base umpire letting everyone know to get back in the dugout. I know that you guys called some really hot games earlier this season. I'm sure these umpires are really glad that we have some shade and we have some cooler weather, as the 1-1 is going to be hit off the top of the bat and rolls towards the McAlester dugout. And we have Mason ahead in the count, 1-2 strikes.
That's been one of the biggest things for her this year. When we've seen her get ahead in the count early on in the game, we've been able to see her progress through the game and keep that confidence all the way through all 7 innings. Because we haven't seen her come out of the game in any game we've called. She has pitched every inning.
The 1-2 is a pop-up, shallow center field. Caldwell underneath it, hardly had to move, and that's a made catch for out number 1. So Ham flies out to center field and brings up the shortstop, number 2, Lena Van Diver. Going back over to our pitcher today for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes, Shiley Mason. She is the daughter of AJ and Brooke Mason. Again, Coach Mason, assistant coach here on this Lady Buffalo squad. Head coached by Holly Jernigan. Her future plans are to obtain her BSN as we have the first pitch, miss a little high for ball 1, and continue on to become a nurse practitioner. And her favorite song currently, a new one from Morgan Wallen that we play on K101, subtle plug, Lies, Lies, Lies.
I'm not sure that's so subtle.
Not so subtle at all. I got a midday show, 10-2. Next pitch is going to fill the zone, and the count moves to even at 1-1 strike. Again, here early, just the top of the first inning between the Checotah Lady Cats and your Lady Buffs. No score, 1-1 is the count. Nobody on, 1 down for the Lady Cats. Righty-on righty matchup between Van Diver and Mason. So 1-1 is fouled straight back at the count. Once again, in the favor of Mason, the count is now 1-2. You mentioned it, when she's at her best, she's getting ahead of counts. And so far, on her senior night, first 2 batters up, 1-2 counts each one of them. Here is the 1-2 from the senior. And it's a little low. Skips into the catcher, Smith. And that's Kirsten Smith behind the plate for the Lady Buffaloes tonight. Count on the scoreboard shows 3-1, but it should be 2-2. Our scoreboard is right on the video stream if you're watching that way. As the 2-2 is popped up once again in center field. This one might be a little harder, shallow center field, but underneath it once again is Caldwell, and that's out number 2. So 2 batters, 2 flyouts to center field. Brings up Haley Prince, the opposing pitcher. Both pitchers today wearing number 24. And 2 down in the top of the first inning, no score, nobody on.
Pretty popular number 24.
I think so. That Mamba mentality, right?
Well, I was thinking Ken Griffey, but
that works
that
too.
I mean, that's always the number I would wear when I was making my MLB The Show character.
First pitch. This is a little high for ball 1. A little outside as well. 1 no strikes to Haley Prince. Getting a pretty good crowd also for senior night tonight. McAlester Faithful made sure to come out and cheer on their Lady Buffalo seniors as the 1-0 misses at the same spot. The fastball count moves now to 2-0. Once softball's over here, this field, which is state of the art, by the way, the 2-0, will miss at the same exact spot. Count is now 3-0 to Haley Prince. This field will convert back over to baseball, where, again, one of the most premier softball complexes in the state of Oklahoma, say win for baseball. At any level, it's a fantastic place to play, and our student athletes are really lucky to be able to do so. As this one catches the outside corner, Prince was starting to make her way over to first base.
She was already across the plate in the other batter's box.
It did catch that outside corner to the right-handed batter, Prince. Still a hitter's count, 3-1 to Prince, looking for one pitch that she can drive. All the way up in the box, the 3-1 pitch. And she swings at this one, pops it up in the infield, straight to Mason. Hardly has to leave the circle, has to reach back for it a little bit, but does make the catch for out number 3. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning, 3 pop-ups by the pitcher, Shiley Mason of the Lady Buffaloes. We'll take a break and be back. No score here in McAlester on senior night on KNED.
McAlester softball and volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Simulcast Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Simulcast Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back to Mike Deek Field in McAlester, Oklahoma for the final home game of the regular season for the McAlester Lady Buffs as they are tied going to the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 for Charlie Mason on the inside the circle for the Lady Buffaloes. It was a 1-2-3 inning with 3 pop-ups. Now Addison Pennington will lead things off for the Lady Buffaloes. Second baseman number 19, righty-on-righty matchup against the pitcher, Haley Prince, who popped up to the pitcher. A little bit behind on the first pitch as Pennington fouls it off to the backstop, a little off to the right side for strike one. Let's look around the diamond for the Lady Cats, as we have Hamilton at first base, Madewell at second, Van Diver at short. Again, Madewell at third as well, so that's Aurora Madewell at third, and Cheyenne Madewell at second base, as Prince gets ready to deliver. The 0-1 pitch goes with the off-speed a little bit there, and that's a swing and a miss for strike two. And the reason why I say off-speed, even though it looks pretty fast, did you see her first warm-up pitch?
I did.
She can bring the heat. And the count is now 0-2. We're going to get to the outfield here of the Lady Cats here in just a moment. The 0-2 to Pennington. Inside corner, strike three. Got Pennington looking with the backwards K. And that'll be out number one in the bottom of the first. So let's look around the outfield for the Lady Cats. You have West in left, Casey in center, Black in right. And the battery for the Lady Cats today, you have Ham behind the plate and Prince inside the circle. Now Avery Alverson, a senior here for the Lady Buffaloes, digs into the box. Another righty-on-righty matchup. So here's the first pitch, and it skips in for ball one. Alverson, another senior here on this senior night. If you can't catch her tonight, then you definitely will get a chance to catch her during basketball season as well. As basketball season, I believe, commences on the 3rd of December. But we don't have a home game for McAlester Lady Buff basketball until the 20th of December, by the way. The 1-0 pitch to Alverson. A little low as well with the fastball. Count moves to 2 balls and no strikes. She's the daughter of Amber and Wesley Alverson. Her future plans to play college basketball and get her degree in sports medicine. 2-0 to Alverson. Swing and a miss for strike one. Looked like Prince laid a little off that one to get back into the zone. Led to a swing and a miss. Count as 2 balls and 1 strike. And her favorite song, man, I love 90s music. Santeria by Sublime. I can't remember if that's 90s or early 2000s. It's right around that area. As the 2-1 misses low and inside for ball 3.
It's all the same.
It's millennial music, and that's what we're into. Hitters count here for the 2-hole batter, Avery Alverson, with 1 down in the bottom of the first inning and no score between the Lady Buffs and the Lady Cats. Still looking for our first base runner of the game. Here's the 3-1 from Prince, and it misses high. So that is our first base runner. Avery Alverson draws the walk. And as we know during basketball season, she does bring plenty of speed to the base paths.
Now batting for the Lady Buffs, number 2, Rylan Lesnow.
And you heard Derek Hatridge. That brings up Rylan Lesnow, the shortstop, number 2. sophomore star for this Lady Buffs softball, and again, when basketball season comes around, basketball teams, this is fouled off to the backstop for strike one for the first pitch from Prince to Lesnow, the right-handed batter. Runner at first, one down, no score, bottom of the first inning.
Now, if Prince can keep it in the zone, she's going to be tough to hit today.
And she's a big reason why the Checotah Lady Wildcats have improved from last year 14-17 to 23-11. She's just been hard to hit as the 0-1 is fouled off. 2 consecutive foul balls from Rylan Lesnow. She's behind in the count 0-2. A lot like, this is going to be any pitcher, whether you're talking about softball, baseball, whatever. If you can start ahead in the count, you're going to find more success than when you're behind. And so far, Charlie Mason and Haley Prince, for 2 out of 3 batters, have started out ahead. Here's the 0-2. Misses up high, and Albertson was thinking about taking off from first base to second, but stays where she's at, and the count is now 1-2. We do have some breaking Diamond news here, as Major League Baseball legend Pete Rose has died at the age of 83, per TMZ.
That is 2 today. 2 legendary sports figures.
As the 1-2 goes to the backstop and now allow Albertson to get into scoring position. She is now 120 feet away from scoring, giving the Lady Buffaloes an early lead. If Rylan Lesnow can drive her in, the count is 2-2 with 1 down here on Lesnow, with the runner again at second and Avery Albertson. Who was the other one?
That was Dikembe Mutombo.
That's right. Mutombo did pass away earlier today. So Pete Rose and now Mutombo. Well, Mutombo and now Pete Rose. All the way back in the box, slightly open stance. For Lesnow, the 2-2 misses high as well. Albertson takes a big secondary off second base, and the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Lesnow, great job of getting the count from 0-2 to 3-2. Here's the payoff. And that misses high, and that's going to be ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued from Haley Prince. Puts runners at first and second base with 1 down, and Casey Woods up at the dish. An early chance for McAlester to get on top of the Checotah Lady Cats. Again, they have played a lot of close games against some really good teams, including taking Tahlequah down to the wire, and Tahlequah the 5A4 district champions. First pitch to Woods, and that hits off the glove of the catcher Ham, and it goes to the backstop, allowing our base runners to move up 60 feet to second and third. So now 1 base hit into the outfield with the speed that McAlester possesses on the base paths right now should give McAlester a 2-0 lead.
And this is something that Chase and I have talked about that McAlester has to improve on. They have to get these runners in whenever they're in scoring position.
Can Woods do it here on her senior night? The 1-0. This is high as well, and so far that is where Prince is struggling. She's not missing down. I think she's missed down only once or twice, and it's both been with the off-speed pitches. When she's going with the fastball, she's been missing high. And the count is now 2-0 on Casey Woods. Prince delivers. That one's high. Ball 3. Ball gets away from the circle for just a moment, but Prince recovers. And 1 pitch away from loading the bases for Kirsten Smith. You can hear McAllister's dugout start to chirp. Here comes the 3-0 pitch from Prince. She slows things down, gets it right down the middle. You could tell that Woods was taking all the way there, and the count is 3-1. Still a hitter's count here for the righty. Looking for 1 pitch that she can rip. You don't want to be behind on it. 3-1 pitch, and it misses high, and that'll be ball 4, and the bases are loaded for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes. Back-to-back-to-back base on balls brings up the 5-hole hitter, the catcher, number 8, Kirsten Smith. So after the backwards K issued to Addison Pennington on 3 pitches, mind you, it has been walk, walk, walk. First pitch. The fastball just misses the zone, ball 1. Prince walks behind the circle for just a moment to collect herself. Back to the rubber, and the 1-0 pitch. That one just at the bottom of the zone. Little borderline pitch. Prince gets the call. Count is now 1 ball and 1 strike.
I will say those of you viewing at home, you're not going to have a much better view than that right there.
1-1. Swing fouled back into the glove of Ham, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Kirsten Smith trying to get the biggest, obviously hit of the game so far. It's the bottom of the first with the bases loaded, 1 down. As now the 1-2 Smith looks at it into the glove of the catcher Ham for strike 3. Another backwards K. And now the bases are loaded with 2 down for Shiley Mason. Mason had a solid top of the first inning, getting the Lady Cats to go 3 up, 3 down. Can she deliver a big base hit here? First pitch, she fouls it straight back, but she's on it. On the off speed, the count is 0-1. Let's recap everything here. We have Alberson at third, Les now at second, Woods at first. The 0-1 pitch with 2 down. Fouled straight back again. And the count is 0-2, and we have Haley Prince 1 pitch away from possibly getting out of the early jam. But on the other side of things, Shiley Mason knows in the back of her head, if I can just get this one into the outfield turf, I'm going to send this place into an uproar. The 0-2 from Prince. Bounces, gets to the backstop. Here comes the runner from third. Alverson will score, and McAlester has an early lead in the bottom of the first inning over Checotah. Runners advance 60 feet to second and third, and it's McAlester 1, Checotah 0 so far. Still runners needing to get in, and Woods knows this. The 1-2, Mason knows this, as this one misses inside. Count's now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You could say deuces wild here.
Only way it'd be better if it was in the second inning.
That is true. 2-2. Ground ball, third base side, foul. Right over the leaping leg of Holly Jernigan, head softball coach for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes. We're going to try to get her back on the Running with the Herd coaches show next Monday to talk about how the season's gone.
I like it.
We did that with Coach Chris Burns of McAlester Volleyball earlier today.
Great interview.
Yeah, he's always a great interview as well. Spoke with him back in the beginning of August before the season and got to speak with him today. Hope to do the same thing with Coach Jernigan. We'll do it again. 2-2 to Mason. And just behind it on the high fastball for strike 3. But McAlester does get on the board as a wild pitch went to the backstop. It allowed Avery Alverson to score. And here on senior night, McAlester leads Checotah 1-0 on KNED.
McAlester softball and volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
So McAlester has an early 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the second inning. This is your voice of the Buffaloes, Brandon Green, filling in for Chase McNutt tonight on the McAlester softball call as the Lady Wildcats went down in order in the top of the first inning. McAlester was able to score on a pass ball with the bases loaded, and rather that was a wild pitch. Here's the first pitch at the top of the second. It'll be fouled close to the Hughes Fieldhouse for strike 1 to Shaylin Casey, the center fielder, number 7. In Mason right now, she looked over at fellow first baseman Taylor Williams. She's loose right now. She's playing loose. She's playing fun right now. So here's another ground ball, hot shot to Levi Walker, the head coach of the Lady Wildcats, along the third base side. The count is 0-2. That one was ripped, but straight foul at the third base line.
Just off his fingertips. He about had that one.
He might have broken a finger. That one was hit hard by the righty Shaylin Casey, cleanup hitter. The 0-2 pitch. Wentz goes with the off speed, and I think she has it out for him. That one was hit over towards him as well. Count remains at 0-2. But earlier, as I was mentioning, Shiley Mason speaking with Taylor Williams over at first. Big smile on her face. Looking for a big performance here on her senior night. Had a great first inning, looking to continue it in the second. The 0-2. Off-speed ground ball. Fair down the third base line. And it boots off of the third baseman Wood's glove. And it will be an error. Although I hate to call that an error, but it is an error. It was straight to the third base bag. It was ripped hard by Shaylin Casey, but that will go down as an E5.
To the plate, number 13, Madewell.
So the tying run is on the base paths for the third baseman, number 13, Aurora Madewell. We've seen nothing but righties for both teams today. In the middle of the box with a slightly open stance is Madewell. First pitch to her, misses low, and that's ball one. Nate, have you guys got to call underneath the lights at all this year so far?
We have. It was the last game that we called. I think the lights came on in about the fifth inning.
The 1-0 is popped straight up the chute as Smith is looking for it, and it hits right off of her glove. It was right up the chute, and sometimes those are really hard plays to make because as a catcher, a lot of people, the average viewer might think it's right to you, catch the ball, but you're thinking about this. You have to find where the ball is at, up into the blue sky. You have to take off your mask often to be able to get a better view of it,
right,
and then still make the catch while turning your back to the field of play so that if you miss it, it doesn't go into fair territory. So that's a tough play to make, but you can't make it there. As the 1-1 is fouled off into the sea of concrete, a.k.a. the parking lot by Aurora Madewell, and the count is now at 1-2.
Been waiting to use that one, haven't you?
For a long time. I'll call all of McAllister's baseball games in the spring, but anytime I can get to use the term sea of concrete, it's a good day. Count now 1-2 to the third baseman, Aurora Madewell. As this one goes behind her into the backstop, allows the runner to advance 60 feet into scoring position. Count will be 2-2 for Madewell. In top of the second inning, Lady Buffs lead 1-0 over the Lady Cats. Nobody out, runner at second. 2-2 is our count to the 5-hole hitter Madewell. And the pitch. This one hits off of the front foot of Aurora Madewell. And now we have runners at first and second with nobody out. See, and this could be something of a team that's struggled before in the past with McAlester 2-16 on the year. We mentioned has been a little bit of a struggle for him this season, again with a young team as well. But you don't want to let one mistake roll down the hill. You want to be able to stop that ball from rolling, as this one does roll to the backstop and allows two runners to advance to second and third. So now the tying run is 60 feet away and the go-ahead run right behind her. 1 ball, no strikes to Cheyenne Madewell. Cheyenne rocking the no sleeves look. So here's the 1-0. Hard hit right to the third baseman. Look what I found. Casey Woods into the basket. That one was determined to go to the left fielder, Avery Alberson. And she said, give me that. What a catch. Out number 1.
Didn't even have time to react to switch the camera.
Well, I'll tell you what she just did. She just preserved the McAlester lead, that's for sure. They don't call it the hot corner for nothing.
I'm sure you can tell us a little bit about that.
She made up for that error just a couple of batters ago. First pitch to the lefty is low as she was approaching that ball. Count is 1-0. Yeah, I did play a little bit of third base back in the day, but I wasn't 60 feet away from those line drives like that. I was a good 15 feet further up, more than that, 30 feet further up the third base line. That's impressive. 1-0. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike now to the lefty, our first lefty of the day, Sydney West. Getting runner still at second and third with 1 down. Lady Buffs trying to continue to hold this 1-0 lead as once again this one misses low and outside. Count is at 2-1. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been a while since I've called softball. It's been 8 years since I've called softball. I watch it often. Here's a ground ball right back over to Woods as she throws over to first base. There's an out at first. They'll throw back over to the plate as the runner tried to advance. That is not in time. We have a tie game. Now the flip to the the pitcher covering rather. Mason is not in time. Is sliding underneath the tag as the runner at second. And now, even though McAlester does get the out over at first base, an error by the first baseman, Williams, leads to 2 runs scoring.
To the plate, number 15,
So that'll be a 5-3 ground out and put an E3 on that as well. And now Checotah with the lead, 2-1. But again, it's been a while since I called it. I watch, of course, everyone watches the Oklahoma Sooners softball team, and Oklahoma State, very good as well in the state of Oklahoma. Always going to the College World Series, Women's College World Series as well. It's not a drag swing, but
It's what they call slashing.
that's right, a slash. Thank you. First pitch to Sydney Hamilton for strike one. I was looking for the term, and my brain was, it looked like Patrick from SpongeBob. There was nothing in there at first. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Here comes the 0-1. That one misses low to Sydney Hamilton. The count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. So Checotah has taken a 2-1 lead in the top of the second inning. 2 down, nobody on. Count even at 1-1 on the 8-hole batter, Sydney Hamilton. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball once again over to the third baseman Wood. She fires across the diamond in time for out number 3. A lot of action there from Casey Woods, but still, the Checotah Lady Cats get 2 runs to take a 2-1 lead as we head to the home half of the second. And we'd like to talk to you about Consignment Exchange a little bit. They have new mattresses. I know many of you have known them as a place for quality pre-owned furniture. True, but they also have new mattresses. Here is why that's important for you to know. They're hundreds of dollars less than retail, and you might be wondering how. Well, there are name brands that are factory closeouts and discontinued covers plus other factors. They don't advertise the brands, and they sell them as is. For these reasons, you can buy a high-end named brand mattress and keep money in your pocket. Come try one out today. McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So as we head to the home half of the second inning, the lights are on here in Mike Deek Field in McAlester, Oklahoma. 2-1 is our score. The Checotah Lady Wildcats use a couple of McAlester errors and a hit by pitch to be able to bring across those 2 runs. McAlester trying to get that back to even and maybe even a possible lead. They'll have the bottom half of the order up in the 7, 8, 9 batters. Starting off with the right fielder, number 4, Coral Coy.
Leading off the bottom of the inning for McAlester, number 4.
So we were mentioning senior night and how last year there was just fireworks that were shot off. Not obviously literally, but that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
But we had on senior night last year, Collinsville was leading McAlester by, I believe, a run. I think it was a 1-run lead for the Collinsville Lady Cardinals. As I'll continue the story here in just a moment, as Prince delivers the first pitch of the home half of the second. It's going to be a ground ball softly hit right back to the pitcher Prince inside the circle. She flips to first, over to Hamilton in time for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what they call efficiency. And that brings up the first baseman, number 20, Taylor Williams. So I mention this because I believe McAlester was down by 1 run. There's a solo shot hit by one of the seniors of the McAlester Lady Buffs softball team, sorry. As the first pitch is swung on and missed on a high fastball to Taylor Williams for strike 1. I think it was Brooklyn Weir that hit a solo shot to center field. Ties up the game. I don't know if it was the next batter, the very next batter, or 2 batters later. An inside the park home run walks it off with Lady Buffaloes. So here's a base hit over to right field by the 8-hole batter, Taylor Williams, and McAlester has their first hit of the game as they're able to score back in the first inning on walks and a wild pitch. So Taylor Williams keeps those hands inside, drives it to right field on a hard hit ball. And the Lady Buffaloes are back in business here. It brings up the designated player, number 26, Bodie Nystrom. Take that back. It's going to be, I believe, Jordan Washington. Did you get... Yeah, give me 1 second here. First pitch will be fouled straight back for strike 1. I had Bodie Nystrom as the designated player for Bailey Caldwell earlier, and that was what was on the starting lineup. First pitch was fouled back for strike 1. But yeah, Jordan Washington is batting in the place of Bodie Nystrom right now. So here's the next pitch to the righty, Washington. That's a fastball pumped in there for strike 2. And 1 on, 1 out. Prince getting into a rhythm. The 0-2 to Washington. This one's fouled straight to the Checotah dugout, and the count is now still at 0-2.
Every time. Every broadcast.
You sneezed during it?
One time.
I sneezed for the first time during a broadcast last Friday.
Really?
Against Checotah, yeah.
I don't know how you avoid it.
I don't know either because I have a really bad allergy problem.
I know you do.
Here's the 0-2 from Prince. And swinging a miss for strike 3. That is strikeout now number 4 here. Excuse me, number 5. I take that back. It is number 4. Number 4 here for Haley Prince. She struck out Pennington, Smith, Mason, and Washington. And speaking of Pennington, we're back to the top of the order. Addison Pennington with a runner at first base. Top of the order up. First pitch to her. And this is a foul ball, late called foul ball. It looked like it hit off the plate and then rolled forward. Might have also hit off her foot while she was inside the batter's box. Count is 0-1 with a runner at first and 2 down. Lady Buffalo's trailing 2-1. And by the way, I haven't mentioned this. I do love the outfits of the umpires today. We haven't talked about that yet. Here's the 0-1 from Prince. Fastball misses up high. Count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. So to the people that are viewing on the video stream, it might just look like white polos. But on the inside, right underneath the arm sleeves, it's the red, white, and blue American flag.
I didn't even notice that.
You have stars on the left side, and you have the stripes and stars as well on the right. Pretty cool. 1-1, swung on and missed. Count now at 1-2. So Haley Prince looking for her 5th strikeout to leave the runner stranded at first base after a 1-out hit by Taylor Williams to right field. Prince delivers the 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Another strikeout by Haley Prince. And that will leave that runner stranded at first. Our score is 2-1 as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. You're listening to McAlester Softball on KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deek Field in beautiful McAlester, Oklahoma. This is Brandon Green alongside Nate Brown, bringing you McAlester Softball on a fine Monday night. It's the regular season home finale here in McAlester, Oklahoma. So far, Checotah leading McAlester 2-1 as here's the first pitch of the 3rd inning, and it's a nice one by the right-handed pitcher, Shiley Mason. Pulled the string on the off-speed to Micaiah Black for strike 1. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters up for the Lady Cats.
Definitely looked like she was looking for fastball there.
Well, out in front, here is the 0-1 pitch. This will be lined straight back to the third baseman, Casey Woods. And she's busy over there by the third base bag. She makes the catch, looks back over to her dugout and says, I got y'all. Out number 1. The second time she's taken a hot line drive right back to her and is able to snag it. The one that she took from Cheyenne Madewell was just, hanging up in a museum.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the best catches you're going to see from a third baseman. So here's the top of the order. Here's the first pitch to Ham, and she swings and misses that one once again with the off-speed. Pulled the string as Ham was swinging on that one that rolled towards the catcher, Smith. Count at 0-1. Ham flew out to the center fielder, Caldwell, earlier. The 0-1 pitch. Line drive right down the third base line, but foul. And nearly another great catch by Woods. She's just a little bit behind on that one. If she would have made that one, I was just going to walk out.
Just give her the gold glove right
Give her
now.
the gold glove, and she can call softball too. Count as 0-2.
Man, that'd be impressive if she could do that. And
That's
still
what
play
I'm
third
saying,
base.
because if she would have made that catch, she can just do it all. She's having a senior night to remember so far, just by her play. Speaking of seniors, here's the senior Shiley Mason with the 0-2. It'll be a ground ball to the shortstop position. Deep into the hole. Lesnow Fields throws it high, and it's thrown too high, and it gets over to the Checotah dugout and allows the runner to take second base as well. So that'll go down as an E6. McAllister's third error of the contest so far. And allows Amy Ham to reach second base for Lana Van Diver, who also flew out to center field her first time up. So again, it's 2-1, top of the third inning. One down, Checotah leading McAlester. Speaking of Woods, she will be batting in the bottom of the third inning. As McAllister will have Avery Albertson, Rylan Lesnow, and Casey Woods up at the dish when they return. It's his first pitch to Van Diver, misses up high for ball one. About to make a stupid pun. If you're new to my calls, there's a lot of them. Instead of Van Diver, that was a Van Riser. 1 ball, no strikes.
My goodness.
Here's the next pitch from Mason. This one's off speed, fills the zone. That'll be strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Getting off the bat quite a bit there was Ham. But the Lady Buffaloes look her back a little.
You know, I think
Keep her honest.
you would think I'd be used to your puns by now, for as long as I've known you.
Some of them stick, some of them don't. You just got to get used to it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stepping out of the box for a moment there was Van Diver. She'll dig back in again. She's well up in the box. Here's the 1-1. Another hard hit ground ball straight to Lesnow. She looks the runner over at third, but still already running there. And the throw was a little low and allows the runner to score from third. So Lesnow had a little bit of trouble with a hard hit ground ball, but also already taken off for third was the runner Ham. So she had no play there. Throw was a little low. It's going to go down as an error. That'll be McAllister's 4th of the contest. It brings up Haley Prince. It's now a 3-1 game as the runner scored from second base. Prince popped up to the pitcher, Mason. So the first pitch is high for ball one. That was back in the first inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Shiley Mason back in the first. Second inning was a little bit rougher for the Lady Buffaloes defense. So an error hit by pitch, great catch by Woods at third base. But then a 5-3 groundout also led to an error that scored 2 runs. As the next pitch is a called strike, runner takes off for second. There will be no throw. Count even at 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, 1 runner on in scoring position who just stole second base in Van Diver. Here's the delivery. The 1-1 is fouled straight back by Prince. She's trying to help out her own cause right now. She's been fantastic inside the circle. She has walked 3. All of them were in the first inning, which led to McAllister's lone run so far, but she's also struck out 5. And you can ask Araldis Chapman, a lot of times you're going to trade some of the walks with all the strikeouts that you can deliver. As the 1-2 is a hard hit, fly ball deep left field, and it has left the yard. That one was still rising as it went across the wall 210 away from the home plate area. And a 2-run shot by Haley Prince has given the Lady Cats a 5-1 lead. So it is now 5-1, Lady Cats on top of the Lady Buffaloes. And it brings up Shaylin Casey as the first pitch misses up and outside for ball 1.
And there wasn't much more you could do with that pitch if you were Shiley Mason.
That's just Haley Prince being a very, very good softball player. Seeing what she's doing inside the circle now, she showed you what she can do at the plate. As here's a pop-up in the infield. Good bounce-back pitch for Shiley Mason as she induces the pop-up to the shortstop, Rylan Lesnow, for out number 2. That's how you can. That's called a get-back pitch right there. By the way, I kind of misspoke on the umpire's wardrobe. One side has the American flag, the other one has the state of Oklahoma flag on the other sides of the collared shirts there.
I like that.
I need to grab one just so that I can wear whenever I want to. First pitch, ground ball, deep into the hole. Nice backhanded snag by Lesnow across the diamond in time for out number 3. Great play by Rylan Lesnow, but still the damage has been done by the Lady Cats. A 3-run inning sparked by a 2-run home run by Haley Prince. gives Checotah a 5-1 lead as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. You're listening to McAlester Lady Buff Softball on KNED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
We have made it to the home half of the third inning. McAlester took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first, but 5 consecutive runs scored by the Checotah Lady Cats has made it a 5-1 game. McAlester will have the heart of their order up, though. The 2-3-4 batters, starting off with Avery Alberson, Rylan Lesnow, and Casey Woods. These 3 batters led to their 1 run that they scored in the first. McAlester has had 1 hit so far. They have been walked 3 times. That 1 hit did not contribute to the run that they scored. They left that runner stranded back in the previous inning.
23, Avery Alberson.
And this will be the last thing I say about the umpire's wardrobe here, and then I'm going to call it quits. But do you think that we could jersey swap,
Hey, that would be pretty cool.
Well, I don't think anyone would want to see the process of the jersey swap itself. Here comes the first pitch to Alberson. And that is a heater, man. That's strike 1. That's the fastest that Prince has let that one fly today. You can tell that after the home run that she hit in the previous half inning, that has boosted her confidence, and she threw that one, I'd say, a good at least 3 miles per hour faster than any of her other pitches so far today. Here's the 0-1 from the righty. Slows things down, but still fills the zone. Alberson didn't like the call, put her hands up in the air. The count is now at 0-2. Look back over at Coach Jernigan. She digs into the box, all the way back in the box. Prince getting into a rhythm. Here is the 0-2 delivery. And it's way high, gets to the backstop, and the count is 1-2. The only problems that we've seen with Haley Prince so far has been when she's gotten a little too comfortable. She's been missing high in the zone. I mean,
Right.
way high in the zone.
Getting past the catcher every time.
Right. 1-2. And here's a great off-speed pitch. Had Alberson out in front for strike 3. But then she bounces back with that.
And I gotta say, this is probably the toughest pitcher we've seen McAlester face since that home opener against Stigler. I mean, that she was throwing maybe just a touch slower than Prince is here today.
And Prince not only delivers a dynamite fastball, but then she can do what she just did to Alberson.
Right.
Hard to hit that. First pitch to Rylan Lesnow. The 3-hole hitter is going to be a ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Van Diver, throws to first, and she has a cannon too. Is able to get the speedy Lesnow racing down the first base line. That's a 6-3 ground out. Brings up Casey Woods, who's had a great day in the field so far. Snagged a couple of hot shots down the third base line.
After the at-bat by Lesnow, that'll bring
Celebrating her senior night.
Wood.
She is the daughter of Curtis and Patty Woods. Her future plans to study accounting and continue to play softball in college. Batting out of the cleanup spot today is the first pitch fastball right down the heart of the plate. You can hear the smack of the glove of the catcher Ham. Her favorite song, a lot like Alberson, she loves the millennial music. Wonderwall by Oasis. Here's the 0-1. This one's fouled straight back. That one sounded like it was hit up near the handle of the bat. The count is now 0-2. So anyway, here's Wonderwall. Counted 0-2. Trying to spark a 2-out rally. McAlester trailing 5-1. This one, fastball way too high. Count is 1-2 strikes. Now, in this position, McAlester batters need to be able to pay attention to this. In this position, Prince has liked to go from fastball missing up high to change it to off speed to get back down in the zone. If I was Woods, that's what I'd be expecting on this 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. And that's what she does, and it's fouled straight back. Count at 1-2. That's the game played in between the game. You need to see what tendencies pitchers like to go to in certain counts. Woods was right on it, too. She just barely missed it from being able to put that one into play. Shortstop, Van Diver playing deep in the hole right now. Hugging the third base bag is the third baseman, Madewell. The 1-2. That's a fastball that just misses. Or the catcher Ham wanted that one. But Woods lives to fight another pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 5-1 deficit for McAlester in the bottom of the third inning. The 2-2. That one misses high, and the count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And this was sparked by the foul ball that she was able to create on 1 and 2. Now that was able to work her into a full count pitch. It got Prince out of her rhythm. Can Prince regain that rhythm? The 3-2 pitch. And she can. It actually hits the foot of the right-handed batter, Casey Woods, and she has now had 2 free passes today. A walk and a hit by pitch for half of the free passes delivered by Haley Prince so far through 2 2/3. That brings up Kirsten Smith.
Coming to the plate for McAlester, number 8, Kirsten Smith.
Excuse me, Kirsten Smith. Again, I hope I have a little bit of grace here. This is my only game I've been able to call from McAlester softball.
I think you're going to be all right.
First pitch, Kirsten swings and misses on a heater for strike 1. Woods at first base after drawing the hit by pitch. Kirsten Smith awaiting the 0-1. Here it is. That's a fastball that misses outside. Quickly getting it back to the pitcher Prince was the catcher Ham. The count is now full 1-1. Here McAlester inside their third base dugout trying to spark a rally here, down by 4. The 1-1. It's a fastball inside corner, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. And the delivery from Prince. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Another strikeout by Haley Prince. Puts McAlester down as we head to the top of the 4th inning. McAlester does trail 5-1. As coming up to the plate for the Lady Cats will be the 6, 7, 8 hole batters. You're listening to McAlester Softball here on KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Number 14, Madewell.
Welcome back to McAlester, Oklahoma. Here's the first pitch at the top of the 4th inning. That's popped straight up the chute again. Kirsten Smith with a chance to redeem herself. Can't make the basket catch, though, along the first base line. And that's how the top of the 4th inning begins. The Checotah Wildcats, who own a 23-11 record on the season, one of the better teams, if not one of the best teams in 4A, leads the McAlester Lady Buffaloes 5-1 in the top of the 4th inning. As we have the 8-9-1 batters up. So again, righty on righty matchup as Shiley Mason in for her 4th inning of work. As the next pitch is going to be a hard hit, fly ball, deep center field. Caldwell back a little bit, but snags it for out number 1. Had to just roam over to her right, take a tiny step back, and that will be out number 1. Be a line out to center field, brings up Micaiah Black, who lined out to the third baseman Woods earlier. Micaiah Black, a slash hitter. Excuse me, I take that back. That was Cheyenne Madewell that lined out to center field. As Sydney West now is at the plate. The first pitch called strike to the lefty. It was Sydney West's ball put in play that led to our first 2 runs being scored by the Lady Cats. It's a ground ball third base side. It was a good field and throw by Casey Woods over to first base, but runner from third took off with the throw. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed on the slash attempt. The count is now 0-2. Throw back over to home plate. Was a little far off to the right. Allowed a run to score. Runner right behind her was taken off from second base. And it would have been a close play at the plate, but couldn't field the ball and applied the tag in time. It's the 0-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Sit him down, throw it around. 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning for
To the plate, number 15.
Mason's first strikeout of the game. On a swinging strikeout from slasher Sydney West, brings up the first baseman, number 15, Sydney Hamilton. Mentioned her earlier. That was actually Cheyenne Madewell that made that line out to center field. This was a ground out to third the first time that Hamilton came up to the plate. She pops this one up and looks like it's going to get out of play. That would be strike 1.
Hit off something out there.
Probably your car.
My luck, probably, because
How far away did you park?
I only parked 3 rows back.
Why do you do that? You know, you've had a car get hit here.
I had to make 3 trips. I am not parking all the way back there because someone had to finish football prep.
There's the 0-1 fly ball left field. Avery Alverson, nothing but a thing. Snags it with her right hand, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Nice bounce back inning for Shiley Mason as we have played half a 7-inning ball game. McAlester is trailing 5-1 to the Checotah Lady Cats. This game brought to you by McAlester Clothing Consignment, Sam Walters Freedom Ford, and Consignment Exchange, which was founded on the premise that new furniture was often out of reach of many families struggling to make ends meet. That was over 40 years ago. How much more is that true today? They have helped literally thousands of folks over the years, young couples just getting started, parents sending kids to school, or folks trying to stretch every dollar. Consignment has met the needs for all kinds of furniture and beds and so much more. Remember, McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South. We'll take a break and be back 30 seconds, and we'll be back here on KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
We return to Pittsburgh County, Oklahoma, here in McAlester, Oklahoma. Mike Deekfield to be exact, as the McAlester Lady Buffaloes trailed the Checotah Lady Cats 5-1 as we head to the home half of the 4th inning. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hole batters, Shiley Mason, Coral Coy, and Taylor Williams up for the Lady Buffs. McAlester has totaled 1 hit so far today. The Lady Cats, would you believe it? They've only had 1 hit as well. There's only been 2 hits in this game, a 2-run home run by Haley Prince and a single by Taylor Williams. Williams will come up to bat 3rd in this inning. In a game that's 5-1, we've had 2 hits.
Kind of wild.
Cat. Speaking of the Wildcats, Haley Prince, who's had a fantastic game, steps on the rubber, and here's the first pitch of the home half of the 4th. Well, we thought it was about to happen, and I think time was called at the very last second before the first pitch by Mason.
When you said Wildcat, I thought you were about to tell me to get my head in the game.
Speaking of millennial music, that's High School Musical there.
Was that from 1?
I think so, man. That was a long time ago. First pitch, misses up high for ball 1. Yeah, Zac Efron has done multiple stuff since then. He's become a wrestler since then. Is he not a real wrestler?
Oh, okay.
He was in the movie The Iron Claw.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't remember
talks
him.
About the Von Erich family, the 1-0. Misses down low for ball 2, which, by the way, if you know the story, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen the movie and you don't know the Von Erich story, bring tissues when you get ready to watch that movie.
Okay.
Very, very sad movie. 2 balls, no strikes on Shiley Mason, the pitch. Catch at the outside corner. Count moves to 2-1. So if you're just now joining us, Haley Prince has brought a live fastball, a really good off-speed pitch, at least that we can see from the first base line. I'm sure she has more in her repertoire. Here's the 2-1. This one's fouled off late by Mason over towards the dugout. But, I mean, what are you going to do? As soon as you think you might have timed her up, there comes the changeup. And it just throws everyone off guard. Count is even now at 2-2 on Charlie Mason. A good job of protecting there. And the delivery. Prince will watch this one hit below the zone. Charlie Mason has worked the count full at 3-2. And we mentioned the lights are on. The sun is nearly completely set. There's not a ray of sun hitting the turf here at Mike Deke Field. The payoff pitch is fouled off of the handle towards the first base coach, Coach Spann. Count still full on a good battle with Charlie Mason, who struck out swinging her first time up. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And again, battling. Great job here by Charlie Mason, working a full count, 3 consecutive foul balls. We'll do it again at 3-2. I believe this will be pitch number 8 coming up to Charlie Mason in this one plate appearance. 3-2 pitch. And she does it again. Fouls it straight off into the backstop. That's what you call protecting the plate. Count is still full, 3-2. If she can get on base here, that's going to provide a big spark to her offense. That dugout's going to come alive, and we'll see if that leads to anything here. With McAllister's lone hit being in the hole right now in Taylor Williams. Prince will do it again. And again, it's another foul ball by Charlie Mason. And we're about to see pitch number 10 from Prince to Mason. A battle of the 24s, a battle of the pitchers here. And now a 10-pitch battle. What do you got? Prince throws it above the catcher Ham, and that will be a 10-pitch battle won by Charlie Mason. She'll take her base.
It looks like we will have a courtesy runner for her.
McAllister, number 4,
Trying to get a number on her. I think that's 13. 15.
Courtesy running
That'll
number
be
15,
Paisley Mullins.
We just had to wait about half a second for Hat to say it.
Paisley Mullins, number 15. So that brings up to the plate Coral Coy. First pitch to Coy. Tries to lay down a bunt, fouls it back into the backstop. That'll be strike 1. Man, tip your cap to Charlie Mason. Your visor, whatever you're wearing, I guess that's still a cap.
Talk about helping your own cause.
No joke. That was one of the best plate appearances you're going to see. Especially against the quality of pitcher in Haley Prince. As this one's fouled off by Coy. Right off the glass of the press box down to our left. And yes, this is shatterproof, I believe.
Yeah, it's not actual glass. It is plexiglass.
Wasn't always that way, by the way.
It was not.
We used to have these reinforced with bars, like metal bars back in the day before we changed out the press box. I believe that was back in 2018 when they fully made the change. Count is 0-2 to Coral Coy in the pitch. This one bounces into the catcher Ham. Staying put at first base will be Mullins. Count 1-2 on Coy. And it is a 5-1 McAllister disadvantage right now. Home half of the 4th inning. Nobody out with a runner at first. The pitch from Prince. This one misses low and he gets to the backstop. Mullins will advance into scoring position. And the Lady Buffaloes may be sparking a little of a rally right here. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Coral Coy. Prince looking for another strikeout. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball first base side. It'll be fielded by the second baseman Pennington. It'll move the runner over as Pennington underhands it to Williams. Excuse me, that is Hamilton for out number 1. It moves the runner over, kind of works like a bunt, which he tried bunting earlier in that plate appearance. And it brings up Taylor Williams, who has McAllister's lone hit so far.
Just a more complicated sacrifice.
Yeah, a little bit more complicated. But it does work. I guess it works even better than it would have before because we did have Mullins at first base when she tried bunting the first time.
Right.
Which that was not a bunt. It was just a 4-3 ground out. First pitch misses low and inside to Williams for ball 1. McAllister's still down by 4, but I think anyone will tell you you're going to want that run to come across right now if you want any chance of, getting close to getting tied. You just need some momentum going in McAllister's favor after 5 consecutive runs have been scored by the Wildcats. The 1-0, chasing a high fastball. The count now moves to 1-1, and that's what you didn't need. With a pitcher that's been kind of struggling in the last inning and a half to get back into the zone, you don't want to give her a pitch because that'll get her confidence back in. You've seen how she can pitch with that confidence. This one goes behind the batter. They never called a hit by pitch.
So,
well, hold on. Okay, I never saw the home plate umpire signal hit by pitch, but he does later say hit by pitch. So that will lead to Taylor Williams going to first base. We have Paisley Mullings have to go back over to third base. No run's going to score on a ball that went to the backstop. So it brings up Jordan Washington. Struck out swinging her first time. And that hits her on the inside part of the knee. I think on her right knee is where she was holding to first. She flips the bat quickly and goes over to first base. So on back-to-back pitches, we have hit by pitches. One to Taylor Williams, and that time to Jordan Washington. And now we're going to be having a circle visit here with head coach Levi Walker and starting pitcher Haley Prince. We'll take a 30-second break and be back here on KNED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
So, want to point out Jordan Washington is okay. That was a fastball that was delivered straight to the inside part of her knee. She kind of gingerly walked over to first base, but then she hopped up and down at the first base bag and jogged off as she has a pinch runner in for her in Bailey Caldwell, who is the center fielder and flex player today. As the first pitch is going to miss down low to Addison Pennington for ball 1. The score is 5-1. On the scoreboard here in McAlester, it shows 5-2. It is 5-1.
Right, that run did not count.
Earlier, it was hit by a pitch instead. Yes, that runner is still at third base. So bases are loaded. Time run at the plate. Next pitch misses up high to Addison Pennington. After the circle visit between Levi Walker and Haley Prince, 2 consecutive balls. Pennington has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. Tying run at the plate. 1 down. 2-0 pitch. Be fouled straight back for strike 1 into the netting. 2-1 the count. Avery Alberson on deck. This inning started with a 10-pitch walk to Shiley Mason. Monday night under the lights of Mike Deek Field. McAlester versus Checotah. 2-1. Fouled straight back again. This one a little bit over the top of the dugout. I think someone's aiming for Coach Homer and Coach Mullins in the other room. Count is even at 2-2.
I wonder where that hit over there.
It hit off the glass. I know that.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Didn't shatter.
Like how deep into the press box.
Well, I heard someone scream, so that tells you anything.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2 to Pennington. That one's a fastball blazing high. And the count is full at 3-2. Pennington takes a deep breath. Trying to drive in a run here. Big time pitch with the count 3-2. Buffaloes down by 4. The payoff. And it skips into the catcher Ham, and that'll be ball 4. McAlester brings in the second run of the contest for the black and gold. And I think that might be it for Haley Prince. Looks like we're about to have a pitching change. We'll be back. The score is 5-2. Go-ahead run is inside the batter's box. Going back over to Coach Jernigan, Avery Alberson when we return here on KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back to McAlester, Oklahoma. The Lady Buffaloes trail 5-2 to the Checotah Lady Cats, and we have a pitching change. Now Shaylin Casey, number 7, is inside the circle for Checotah. Avery Albertson, the first batter to meet her, as we have a bunt attempt that is whiffed by Albertson for strike 1. She is 0 for 1 today with a walk and a strikeout swinging. Again, the tying run is at first base in the form of Addison Pennington, who just brought in an RBI walk. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed by Albertson for strike 2. Albertson represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 4th. Trying to get a number on who is in center field right now. I believe that's either 15 or 25. As we have a swing and a miss on a high fastball for strike 3. So that's now 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Rylan Lesnow comes up in a big situation here. Bases loaded, 2 down. The black and gold down 5-2. She is 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out to short. Here's the first pitch. Fastball just a little bit above the letters. That'll be ball 1. So that is number 15, isn't it? 15. So that means Sydney Hamilton has gone from first base over to center field. From the circle to first base as we have a ground ball down the third base side, but foul. Count's now even at 1-1 on Lesnow. So Prince has moved from the circle over to first base. From first base to center field has moved Hamilton. And from center field to the circle has moved Shaylin Casey.
That makes sense.
Just one big triangle there. The 1-1 misses low to Lesnow. Count is 2-1. And Lesnow brings plenty of pop. One swing can change this entire game. I've seen crazier on this field. 2-1. And here's a big high fly ball. Deep right center field, carrying towards the warning track. It'll hop over the wall and a ground rule double for Rylan Lesnow. And McAlester has pulled it within 1. A deep drive to right center field. One hopped over the wall. And it brings in 2 runs to pull McAlester, I believe, within 1.
Right, the third run will not score on that.
And McAlester was down 5-2 before that swing. Again, scoreboard has it as 6-5. They're off by 2 runs here. It should be 5-4. McAlester is still down by 1.
Number 21.
But that is a ground rule double hit by Rylan Lesnow, bringing in 2 runs. McAlester can still take the lead. First pitch. Fills his own strike 1. I love that strike call by the home plate umpire, by the way. I don't know if you could catch that on the stream, but you could on the radio side of things. Brings up Casey Woods. As Woods grounds this one down the first base line. Snagged, but just foul. Just foul. Prince snagged it. Her glove was outside the first base line, but well, that is a very close call because I don't know if that ball ever hit the line. I don't think it ever. Where she caught it was in foul territory. Her glove was. She was standing in fair territory. I'll have to go back and look at that. I don't think we were able to catch that.
Not in time.
That was a pretty quick series of events. Either way, the count is 0-2 for cleanup hitter Casey Woods, who has not recorded an official at bat yet. She's 0 for 0, walk and hit by pitch. Runners at second and third. The 0-2 misses high, ball 1. So we have the tying run at third base, the go-ahead run at second. They still have it wrong on the scoreboard here at McAlester, I believe. Should be 5-4. The 1-2 is fouled off and out of play. Count remains at 1-2. Now I know it. Well, I know what Chase means because I do baseball too. You get caught scoreboard watching, and sometimes you forget the count.
Yeah.
Because I will say it's a hard job for people running the score over here too, because sometimes, you can't always get the call. We can't hear the call or we can hear the call. They can't hear the call down in the other room. 1-2 misses high. Count is now even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Runners at second and third. With the Lady Buffaloes down by a run, 5-4. The pitch. In the zone, strike 3. Got her looking. But McAlester, with one swing of the bat, has pulled this game within 1. It is 5-4 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. McAlester 4, the Checotah Lady Cats 5 here on KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAlester.
Welcome back to Mike Deek Field here in McAlester, Oklahoma. During that commercial break, we did have an announcement made here at Mike Deek Field in McAlester. And correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm going to try to get through it here. After a 6-month exercise in Australia, one of our own has returned. He is the son of David and Amy Sexton, who David is behind the plate right now, being the home plate umpire. They gave a warm welcome home to U.S. Marine Lance Corporal Colton Checotah. So that is really cool. I'm glad that we were able to announce that. And thank you, Derek, for giving me that information as well. Derek Hatridge, the PA man over here at Mike Deek Field, and also you hear him on Friday nights as well. That is really cool. And that is another reason I'm guessing why they're wearing their
makes a lot of sense.
Stars and Stripes gear here for the McAlester Lady Buffaloes against the Checotah Lady Wildcats. We have the score updated. It is McAlester 4, the Checotah Lady Cats 5. It is a 1-run ball game after a 2 RBI double by Rylan Lesnow in the bottom of the 4th inning has made this a brand new ball game. Starting off the top of the 5th will be the 9-1-2 batter. This is the first pitch. Misses inside and gets to the backstop to Micaiah Black, who lined out to the third baseman Casey Woods earlier. Lady Buffaloes, they have gone through their order 2.5 times. The Lady Cats just finishing up their second time through. The 1-0, swung on and missed, strike 1. Partner, I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter if it's in the fall or the spring, the summer. You don't really ever see it during the winter, but just baseball, softball under the lights.
It's beautiful.
It's a different vibe, man. Here's the 1-1 to Black. Fouled off onto the large McAlester baseball logo. Count is now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know what? And what now? What time is it?
7:20.
If that's what, 4.5 hours, it's going to be October. You know what happens in October.
Spooky season.
1-2 pitch is going to be fouled off towards Coach Jernigan. Nice snag by Coach Spann. Count will remain at 1-2 to the leadoff batter, Micaiah Black. McAlester down 5-4 in the top of the 5th inning.
Was spooky season what you were referring to?
No, I was referring to it's Major League Baseball playoffs.
Okay.
So this is the time of the year where baseball is at its finest.
That is very true.
Or as you mentioned, stickball is at its finest. Of course, not when softball is at its finest. That happens in June. And it happens right here in the state of Oklahoma. We are so lucky with the kind of talent that this state possesses in the sport of softball. Next pitch misses down low to move the count to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Whether you cheer on the Pokes or the Sooners, they seem to always make it to the Women's College World Series, and it's really cool to be able to mention that. And
I mean, OU going for a 5-peat now, right? Or is it 6 this time?
Here comes the 2-2. And that's in the zone. Shiley Mason got her looking at the top part of the zone. 4 strike 3. Sit her down, throw it around. 1 down here in the top of the 5th inning with a backwards K to Micaiah Black. Now bring up the top of the order for Kami Ham, who is 0-for-2 with a fly out to center field and reached on an E6. And by the way, Coach Hughes is tuning in.
Awesome.
He said most wonderful time of the year. He said playoff baseball. He was answering my question.
Okay.
He said, did you get a chance to see that game today? Unbelievable. I did not, and now I have to look it up. First pitch, hard hit line drive right down the left field line and just foul. One, it was almost caught by third baseman Woods again, and it also nearly hit the left field line. Just about a foot to the left. Because have we officially started? Yeah, we had game 163, didn't we? Because we had a 3-way tie for the wild card spot.
Well, no, it was a scheduled doubleheader.
Oh, that's right.
And that just so happened to decide the wild card spots. If the Mets and Braves if one of those teams had won both games.
0-1 fly ball to center field, Caldwell underneath it, staring into the Monday night sky, makes the catch, and that's out number 2.
But if one of the teams had won both games, that one team would have made it in, and the Arizona Diamondbacks would have gotten a wild card spot. If they split, the Braves and the Mets got into the wild card, and that's exactly what happened. They split Mets and Braves in, Diamondbacks out.
So Braves won the first game as first pitch in there, strike 1 to Lana Van Diver, who's 0-for-2 with a fly out to center and reaching on an E3. So the Braves won the first one 3-0, and then the Mets mounted 2 furious rallies to claim the NL wildcard berth 8-7. Here's a softly hit fly ball up the middle, caught by the shortstop Rylan Lesnow, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Lady Buffaloes. They've caught the momentum like it's the flu. It's 5-4, McAlester down by 1, looking to have another big inning like the last one they had. We head to the home half of the 5th. McAlester trailing 5-4 here on KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
For McAlester, number 8.
It has been a great day to be able to play a game on a diamond as the McAlester Lady Buffaloes trail 5-4 as the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th inning is fouled back by Kirsten Smith, who is 0-for-2 with 2 strikeouts. Again, starting her first full inning inside the circle is Shaylin Casey. She came in for relief back in the previous inning in the bottom of the 4th, which saw McAlester score 3 runs to pull it back within 1. Here's the 0-1. Thought about it on an upstairs fastball, lays off. Kirsten Smith has moved the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. But yeah, I'm kind of texting Coach Hughes right now. That's the reason why I mentioned it's been a great day to be able to play a game on a diamond, because I messed it up a little bit earlier. Here's the 1-1 is low for ball 2. So the Braves won the second game of the doubleheader. The Mets won the first 8-7.
Right.
But look at Coach Hughes sent me this as well. Listen to the win probabilities in this game as the next pitch misses low for ball 3. So I'm going to tell you what happened at first. The Braves were down. That is 3-0 going into the top of the 8th inning.
Mets were down 3.
Yes, thank you. Mets were down 3-0 going into the top of the 8th. Mets scored 6 runs to go up 6-3. So here's the 3-1 to Smith. Fouled off of the press box again. It's been taking a beating here. Count is full at 3-2. Then the Braves scored 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning to go up 7-6. And then the top of the 9th, the Mets scored 2 more runs, and then they held on to that to win 8-7. Listen to the win probability brought to me by Coach Hughes, as this is right at the bottom of the zone for strike 3. Great pitch by Shaylin Casey to get Kirsten Smith, as she has struck out for the 3rd time today on a backwards K. That brings up the pitcher, number 24, Shiley Mason, who started off the entire rally in the last inning with a 10-pitch walk. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. But this win probability in this first game of the doubleheader between the Mets and the Braves, as the first pitch is fouled off for strike 1 to Mason. Atlanta had a 94% chance of winning in the top of the 8th. In the bottom of the 8th, the Mets had a 92% chance of winning. In the top of the 9th, that flipped back to the Braves, 94%. And then by the bottom of the 9th, Mets had an 88%, as this one's popped up in foul territory. A little bit too far out of the reach of the first baseman, Prince.
I mean, just hitting in front of us.
And that moves the count to 0-2 on Shiley Mason. There's no better part of the year for baseball than, or any sport played on a diamond, than October, September. This one's fouled straight back. Count remains at 0-2 here on Shiley Mason. Because it's not the dead heat of summer. It's not starting to get warm. The temperatures are starting to drop off. We're going to be looking at 75-degree temperatures here in just a moment if we haven't already hit that. As here's the 0-2 from Casey. And it misses low for ball 1 to Shiley Mason. In 1 down, nobody on for the Lady Buffaloes. Down 5-4 to the Checotah Lady Wildcats on the Lady Buffaloes senior night. And it is exactly 75 degrees.
Not exactly sunny in 75, but we'll take it.
Joe Nichols would still love that song. All the way back in the box is Mason. The 1-2 delivery. Misses high. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mason has pitched just a gem of a game. Aaron Art, senior night. I'll get to it in a moment. The 2-2 ground ball softly hit straight back to the pitcher as Casey fields it, flips over to first base in time for out number 2. So let me go back to talk on Mason before we speak on Coral Coy, who comes up 0 for 2 so far today with 2 ground outs. There's only been 1 hit allowed by Shiley Mason through 5 innings pitched. It just so happened to be a 2-run home run to Haley Prince, who, by the way, will lead off the top of the 6th inning. This one's a ground ball first base side again. Softly hit, fielded easily by Prince. She'll step on first in time for out number 3, and that will be it for the bottom of the 5th inning. It is a 5-4 Checotah Lady Cat advantage over the McAlester Lady Buffaloes. We'll head to the top of the 6th here in just a moment. You're listening to McAlester Lady Buff Softball on KNED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
To the plate for Checotah, number 24, Prince.
We now head to the top of the 6th inning in what is a really good game between the McAlester Lady Buffaloes and the Checotah Lady Wildcats, in a game that's only featured 3 hits. Here's the first pitch to Haley Prince, who has 1 of those 3 hits. It's an off-speed in the zone for strike 1. Prince sent a 2-run home run over the left field wall in her last time up, which seemed like forever ago. That was in the top of the 3rd inning. It has been a really solid 4th and 5th inning for Shiley Mason inside the circle. Next pitch is another high hit fly ball to the center fielder. Left center field it is, and calling it off at the last second is Avery Alverson, roaming to her left to make the snag for out number 1. I love that.
Number 7, Casey.
That is senior Avery Alverson to you. Out number 1. Pretty great catch there. Calling off Caldwell at the last second to be able to make that catch in the alleyway. That's a big time out against Haley Prince. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Shaylin Casey, the new pitcher, as this one is fouled off towards the Hughes Field house for strike 1. It's 5-4. This is one of those games that we talked about with McAlester where you can see the glimpses of what this team can be moving forward.
Right.
I know they're going to lose a really solid group of seniors, including inside the circle, Shiley Mason. Here's the hard hit ground ball off the glove of the third baseman, Woods. Lesnow Fields fires to first, but not in time. I think that's borderline a hit. I know it's off the glove, but
I would personally call that a hit.
That's a tough one. I know it was off the glove of Woods, but that one was about as, again, hard hit as you can ask for from Shaylin Casey.
I mean, you're not biased toward a McAlester third baseman, right?
I'm not, but in the rule book, that's probably going to go down as an error. It's just an unfortunate error, I'd say. It depends on who you're asking. Have you seen the way that some Major League Baseball scorekeepers keep score nowadays?
Oh, yeah.
As this first pitch misses down low for ball 1. Someone could take a routine ground ball and it would hit their chest and they'd still call it a base hit in Major League Baseball nowadays. I sound like an old fart right now. Here's the 1-0. Right back over to Mason as it hits off her and rolls to the second baseman, Pennington. I don't think it hit off of her body. It looked like it just hit off of her glove. She almost made a fantastic look what I found catch. Those are 2 hard hit balls back into play. And it allows runners to reach to first and second. So that's my thing. If you're not going to call that an error, I think that you probably got to get that hit over towards Casey Woods a hit too. That was hit by Aurora Madewell, which brings up Cheyenne Madewell. She is over 2, but she's hit the ball hard twice. So here's a pitch that misses outside for ball 1. She is lined out to the third baseman and to the center fielder, where Woods and Caldwell resides respectively. 1-0 pitch. Hard hit, fly ball, deep center field. Caldwell back on it, makes the catch. Runner will tag from second base, and there will be no throw from the cutoff lady, Rylan Lesnow, but that is out number 2. Also playing a really good game in center field tonight, Bailey Caldwell.
She has.
It's another hard hit ball that's snagged by Caldwell. Brings up Sydney West.
That's something we've seen from her all season.
She's been as reliable as they come. So here's a big time at bat. First pitch, off speed, runner takes off for second. There will be no throw there. Smart too, because you don't want to risk that run coming in from third. Want to keep it at a 1-run game. Runners at second and third. The count is 0-1, 2 down, top of the 6th inning. McAlester is currently trailing by 1, 5-4. The next pitch to West. Ground ball, foul, third base side.
Got all of that one, though.
Again, I think they're aiming for their head coach, Levi Walker.
I mean, I don't think they've had a foul ball down the third base side in a while.
No, not until then. Count is 0-2.
I meant the first base side. Excuse me.
Because I think it was Shaylin Casey that nearly took his fingers off. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Big time pitch from Shiley Mason. Her third strikeout of the day is a huge one, and it keeps the runners at second and third, and the deficit still at 1. McAlester trails 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. This broadcast brought to you by McAlester Clothing Consignment, Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, and Consignment Exchange, which has new mattresses. I know many of you know them as a place for quality pre-owned furniture. True, but they also have new mattresses. Here's why that's important for you to know. They are hundreds of dollars less than retail, but how? Well, they are name brand, and they are factory closeouts. They're discontinued covers, plus other factors. They don't advertise the brands, and they sell them as is. And for these reasons, you can buy a high-end named brand mattress and keep money in your pocket. Come try one out today. McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on K&ED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
The McAlester Lady Buffaloes are finishing off the home season at Mike Deak Field, hopefully in style. It's been a great game, though. It is 5-4. McAlester down by 1. Taylor Williams steps up into the box. Righty-on-righty matchup against Shaylin Casey, and the first pitch fastball is high and outside for ball 1. Williams is 1 for 1 today. She has singled and been hit by a pitch. On deck is Jordan Washington, who has struck out and been hit by a pitch. Again, the Lady Buffaloes trail 5-4, home half the 6th. Next pitch is chopped at strike 1. Went after the high fastball, count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. As we mentioned, and I was going to say before we started to get some action in the last half of the inning. Yes, here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. This McAlester Lady Buff softball team has played teams so close, some really good teams so close this year, including 5A4 district champion Tahlequah, losing just 7-5. So here's the 1-2 from Casey. We'll continue that thought in a moment. Here's a softly hit pop up towards the second baseman, digging back into the right field area and making the catch is the second baseman made well for out number 1. Which brings up Jordan Washington, who I mentioned is 0 for 1 with the strikeout and a hit by pitch. Lady Buffaloes down 5-4, 1 down in the home half of the 6th. Some other close games, they lost to the 5A4 district runner-ups. Collinsville just 2-1, and that came just like 4 or 5 days after losing 19-5 to the same team, as the first pitch is fouled backwards by Washington for strike 1. And then here just recently they lost to a 11-14 team in Grove 4-1 in the Tahlequah tournament. This just goes to show you that this team is scrappy. As the next pitch misses up high for ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's not your average 2-16 team.
No, it is
Usually
not.
when you see a 2-16 team, you see teams that don't play teams that close. This is a team that it's got a lot of potential, and I'm sure a lot of Lady Buffaloes as this one misses just a little bit outside. Count is now 2-1, I believe, right? Scoreboard watching.
2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. Scoreboard shows 1-2, but that was a called outside ball. 2-1 pitch. It's a hard hit, line drive, right field. It's a gapper. It'll get to the wall. Jordan Washington rounding first, making her way towards second. The throw from right field is not in time, and it's a stand-up double by the 9-hole batter, Jordan Washington. A one-hopper to the wall, and the tying run is in scoring position. For the top of the order, that brings up Addison Pennington, who is 0 for 2 with an RBI walk as well. What a hit by Washington. First pitch, way behind on the fastball, strike 1. That one nearly hit the mitt before she was able to get the bat around. That's a great bounce back pitch by Shaylin Casey. Getting 1 down, runner in scoring position, the 0-1 pitch. That one's way too high. Nice snag by the catcher, Ham. That gets to the backstop. We're looking at a tying run 60 feet away. And all of a sudden, one pitch can change this entire game. The 1-1. That might have been fouled off by the sound of the pitch coming in. It was fouled back into the glove, I believe, of Ham. That'll be strike 2. It might have been the tail end of the bat.
It definitely hit off something.
The 1-2. Up and outside. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Addison Pennington. Righty on righty matchup. Casey delivers. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. And they could have got the runner out over at third, but she throws over to first instead to get the sure out. Kind of hung out to dry was Jordan Washington. And I think she knew it as soon as she let go of the ball. And also, Shaylin Casey is grabbing at her left shoulder. Washington advances over to third, so the tying run is 60 feet away for Avery Alberson. Shaylin Casey's feeling some discomfort in that left shoulder. It's not her throwing shoulder. Gets back in the circle and delivers the first pitch. Fastball missing high for ball one. On deck is Rylan Lesnow, who has delivered the biggest hit so far today for the Lady Buffaloes. Tying run 60 feet away in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lady Buffs down by 1. Next pitch right down at Broadway. Strike 1. Count evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. Alberson so far today 0 for 2. She has walked and struck out swinging twice. 1-1 pitch. Up and outside, ball 2. So the senior righty Avery Alberson ahead in the count. Can she have a senior moment to remember here in this at bat? The 2-1. Fouls it straight back, and the count is now deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, tying run at third base. Washington will be moving on contact. The Lady Buffs can put the ball in play. Can good things happen here? Casey delivers. Got the corner, strike 3, and that will leave the runner stranded at third. So if the Lady Buffs want to win this one on senior night, they got to do it in walk-off fashion. 5-4 is our score as we head to the top of the 7th inning. You're listening to McAlester Softball on KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of...
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
So it's been a game to remember so far. It's been a really good one. 5-4 is our score, a back-and-forth game. As this first pitch is fouled off of the mask to start the 7th inning of Kirsten Smith. And the home plate umpire will give a little bit of time for Smith to collect herself.
But she immediately waves off Coach Jernigan and says, I'm good.
That is why this game is not played in the 1900s anymore, because
that could have been really bad back then.
That would have been really bad back in the day. So Smith goes over to her pitcher, Shiley Mason, and she slaps her back on the head again. She says, you're good. Hits her on the top of the mask and makes her way back behind home plate. Shiley Mason, she's just not rattled, and she's had a great game. Can't emphasize that enough. As the next pitch fills the zone for strike 2. Up at the plate, the 7-8-9 hole batters here at the top of the 7th, Sydney West, who is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. The 0-2. I was caught scoreboard watching. Now the count is 1-2.
Yes.
And I take that back. That is Sydney Hamilton that is up at the plate. Next pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. Shiley Mason continues to pitch a gem of a game. Sit her down, throw it around. 1 down here in the top of the 7th inning. So it's the 8-9-1 batters up. We have Micaiah Black, who is over 2. She's lined out to the third baseman and struck out looking today. Another strikeout issued by Shiley Mason. I believe that's strikeout number 4. First pitch to Black in there, strike 1.
At the plate, number 8, Black.
Mason trying to keep her team within striking distance, which is only 1 run right now, as the next pitch misses high to move the count to even at 1 ball and 1 strike. I guess that might have been strike out number 3 for her, but I could have swore she had 1 more.
I'm not entirely sure.
1-1. It's a high hit, fly ball center field. Caldwell hardly has to move, makes the catch. For out number 2, I think Shiley Mason is even pulling a Sandlot here. You know how Benny the Jet Rodriguez says Just put your arm out, and he'll go to you.
Uh-huh.
Even Mason's doing that a little bit. Caldwell, who's played a great game in center field, she's hardly had to move for a lot of the catches she's made as well. So here comes a big time at bat once again. We go to the top of the order. Ham comes up to the plate, the catcher today, who's done a great job behind home plate, snagging some of the fire fastballs from Prince and Casey. As here's a pop-up into shallow right field. Coming in and nearly making a shoestring catch was the right fielder, Coral Coy. Instead, it'll be a runner reaching second base on what will go down as, we're going to call it a double.
Yeah, that was not an error.
It's not an error. I was just seeing if someone advanced over to, seeing if you would score that as an error of how she went over to second. I think it's just going to be a straight-up double.
Yeah.
But it brings up Lana Van Diver, who is 0 for 3. She's flown out to center field, reached on an error, and flown out to short. Again, playing pretty far back in right field was Coy. Nearly made the shoestring catch, just couldn't do it in time. But Mason, nothing but a thing. Right back into the zone, strike one.
And if you're Mason here, you have to just focus on the hitter in front of you. Don't worry about that runner at second.
McAlester will have the 3, 4, 5 batters up in the bottom of the 7th. Next pitch pops up. First base line, going for the backwards catch, and it lands just foul. Just foul. The first baseman, Williams, was trying to make a Willie Mays catch. Back turned directly to the first base bag, and it had to be inches off the right field line. Partner, you got the count at 0-2?
Yes.
Here's the pitch. Good off speed, and that's a really hard pitch to lay off of if you're Van Diver. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Senior night under the lights. The senior Mason, the 1-2. Pops it up. Shallow left field. Coming in, Avery Alberson makes the catch, and that's out number 3. Put those rally caps on, Lady Buffalo fans. The heart of the order, the 3, 4, 5 batters coming up in a 1-run game. It is 5-4 as we head to the home half of the 7th. You're listening to McAlester Softball on KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, this is Brandon Green alongside Nate Brown, that last year's senior night, as we have the Duel of the Fates playing in the background, credit to Derek Hatridge. That's awesome. It is 5-4. Last year, it was a 1-run game on senior night. Came down to the final inning. It was home run, walk-off inside the park home run. Can a little bit of magic happen here on senior night? Can the Lady Buffaloes get their 3rd win of the year against one of the best teams that they've played this year in the 23-11 4A Checotah Lady Wildcats? Well, they have the prime opportunity to do so. They have the heart of the order up in Rylan Lesnow, who's delivered the biggest base hit of the game for McAlester up to this point. It was a 2 RBI double back in the bottom of the 4th.
To the plate.
It put McAlester within 1.
2, Rylan Lesnow.
So the sophomore Rylan Lesnow digs in against Shaylin Casey. The first pitch to Deuce. Fastball right down the middle, and I think Lesnow might have wanted that one back. She kind of put her shoulders up in the air, thought, ooh, that was one I could drive. Count goes to 0-1. Casey, the next pitch, right on the corner, and that'll be strike 2. Living off that outside edge, and the count is now at 0-2. That's what they got Avery Alberson on to end the McAlester threat with the tying run at 3rd back in the 6th inning. This is a big at-bat for Shaylin Casey. The 0-2. Ground ball to the shortstop. Fielded by Van Diver. Throws to first. Just in time for out number 1 by a step. We talked earlier about the kind of arm that Van Diver possesses at the shortstop position. She plays so deep in the hole at shortstop, and she's still able to make that throw against that runner at Ryland Lesnout, who's that fast. That's a big timeout for the Checotah Lady Wildcats, looking for their 24th win of the year. Brings up Casey Woods. Woods 0 for 1 today. First pitch. Misses high and inside. Ball 1. She has walked, been hit by a pitch, and struck out looking. Again, I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that it was seniors that made it happen. Can Woods make it happen here as this one skips off the plate to move the count to 2-0? Again, 5-4 if you're just now joining us. Bottom of the 7th here on McAlester Lady Buffaloes softball's senior night. The 2-0 pitch. Misses high. That's ball 3. One more pitch would put the tying run at first base, the go-ahead run, the winning run, not just go-ahead anymore, the winning run at the plate. The 3-0 delivery. And she's swinging on 3-0. Fouls it back into the backstop for strike 1. Now, I don't mind that. She's your cleanup hitter. You're 1 pitch away from tying this game up. And we've seen Casey Woods hit a home run this year.
We have.
I agree. Let her swing away on that 3-0. The 3-1 just misses the top of the zone, and the tying run is on the base paths. Her 3rd free pass given to her today. Brings up Kirsten Smith. She's had a rough day. She's gone 0 for 3. But what way to turn around a rough day than with your biggest hit of the day. She shows bunt, pulls back, called strike. Strike 1. So right now it seems like Smith is trying to do a job here. She's trying to move the runner over into scoring position. Corner infielders are super in as here's a ground ball right back over to the pitcher. They'll throw over to the second for 1, over to first. They're going to call her safe. They're going to call her safe. That was a very close play over at first base. That was nearly an inning or game-ending double play. That was 1-6 for the fielder's choice.
Number 24.
Let's see the replay. I think they got her. I think that's probably should have been a double play. But McAllister's going to take it. They're still alive. First pitch is up high for ball 1. I think McAllister got away with one there. I mean, we're going to have to break it down in slow motion after the game and really see, but I think the Lady Buffaloes got away with the call at first base. The 1-0. Fouls it off down the third base line. Just barely bounced foul. I think Charlie Mason needed to get on her horse turn down the first base line on that last dribbler. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. McAllister down to their final out.
That stays in foul territory. That's game.
Yep. Tying run at first, winning run at the plate, the 1-1. Line drive, right center field. This one's going to land. As Smith rounds second, making her way towards third. The throw in from right field is not in time. She takes a seat on the third base bag. Smith with a jump off the third base bag. And it is a double by Shiley Mason. Tying run 60 feet away. The winning run 120. On a double to the right center alleyway.
Number 4.
Brings up Coral Coy, who is 0 for 3 today.
Brandon, you feel that stadium pulse?
That's called your heartbeat. Here's the first pitch to Coy. Swing and a miss for strike 1, a little over the top. Can Coral Coy be built for the moment? Can she deliver the biggest hit of the season for the Lady Buffalo so far? The 0-1 pitch. In the zone, strike 2. McAllister's down to their final strike. Lady Buffalo is going for the upset of the year. Shaylin Casey trying to close the door. The 0-2 pitch. Misses low outside. We live to fight another pitch. 1-2.
That's all you can do at this point.
A double has put McAllister within striking distance of winning this game. A hit away. The 1-2. Just got a piece. Fouled it off the face mask of the catcher Ham, and it is still 1-2. What a game we have had here in Pittsburgh County. Well, we have fireworks on senior night. The 1-2 pitch. Just outside. The home plate umpire signaled with his right hand. It missed by a centimeter. It's at 2-2. Checotah wanted that one bad. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike three late on the fastball. And the Wildcats outlast the McAlester Lady Buffaloes in a fantastic pitcher's duel that went the full 7. The Lady Buffaloes comeback falls just a bit short from down 5-1.
On behalf of the McAlester Athletic Department,
They brought it to 5-4, had their chances, but came up just a little shy here on senior night. But what a battle by the McAlester Lady Buffaloes against a team that's looking to do major damage in the 4A postseason. We'll be speaking about all this when we come back on the Lady Buffalo postgame show. Again, final score here tonight by a score of 5-4. It was the Checotah Lady Wildcats over your McAlester Lady Buffaloes here on KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Well, if you're just now joining us, you missed a great game for the final McAlester softball game at Mike Deek Field in the 2024 season. The McAlester Lady Buffaloes went up early on the Checotah Lady Wildcats. Again, McAlester, no secret, they have struggled this year. They've gone 2-16. Excuse me, but they have been able to keep games close against some of the top teams. The two top teams in the district. They lost a couple of games by a combined score of three-run deficit when you combine those two deficits together. And they came into this game against a 23-11 Checotah Lady Wildcats team that has just been tearing the cover off the ball, pitching the ball well, fielding the ball well. They fielded the ball well today. They didn't have any errors today. We're going to get to that in just a moment here, but McAlester went up early, 1-0, took advantage of walks. Was able to score on a pass ball. Then Checotah does what Checotah does. They were able to score 2 runs in the second inning off of no hits. McAlester just had some error problems in the second inning. And then they scored 3 more, including a 2-run home run by Haley Prince that put up Checotah 5-1. And a lot of McAlester softball fans might have been thinking at this point, oh man, the ball's starting to roll. This could be bad. But you got to give a bunch of credit to Shiley Mason, because what does she do right after the 2-run home run? She induces a pop-up to the shortstop, Rylan Less, now one of the most sure-handed players on this McAlester Lady Buff defense, makes the catch, and then from then on out, it was just smooth sailing for Shiley Mason. She was in control, didn't give up another run the rest of the game, and also the McAlester defense played complimentary softball, and especially on the defensive side. Mason made the pitches. She wasn't overpowering anybody. She struck out 4 batters today, but she only gave up 1 free pass. It was a hit by pitch, and it was in the 2nd inning. Didn't give up a free pass the rest of the game. McAlester, talk about the early errors. After the 3rd inning, didn't have an error the rest of the game. Played fantastic defense, and then the offense obliged. It started with a 10-pitch walk to Shiley Mason, put her on base. After the walk, we ended up seeing ground out, hit by pitch on the very next pitch. Then we had a walk that put the score at 5-2. Strikeout, now we got 2 down. Rylan Less now, a 2 RBI double, brings this game to 5-4. They just couldn't get the one last big hit with runners on to give McAlester the lead. They had the chances, even at the very end of the game. They had big-time doubles, one by Jordan Washington, one by Shiley Mason, to be able to give McAlester a chance. Just couldn't get that last run to even get this thing to extras to come across the plate to score. But the fact that they were in this game and the fact that they battled back once again is credit to how scrappy this team is and what this team could be moving forward, knowing how young they are. Yes, I know that some of their big-time contributors, especially today, are seniors, but it paves the way for future teams, especially when you look at some of the young talent that they've been able to progress with this year. It builds a foundation.
Right.
Season's not over yet. Yes, they don't have a favorable regional they're going to. Going to Pryor, I know it doesn't look very good there either, but you have a chance to go to Eufaula a week from today to beat the Lady Ironheads and a chance to get that 3rd win of the season, continue to build the foundation, continue to build momentum, because I don't think momentum just ends at the end of a season. I think that for the players that return, it moves on into the next season.
It does.
So I think that this game is a huge step in the right direction. Yes, they wanted to win it, obviously, but they're playing loose, they're playing free, they're playing fun, and it showed from innings 4 to 7, and that was some of the best softball. I mean, you can admit it, that you've seen all year from them.
This is not the same team that we saw game 1 against Stigler. I mean, that team, there were quite a few mental errors. Offense wasn't really able to string together much of a hit. And like I was saying, I think it was back in the 1st inning, this is the best pitcher they've seen since Stigler, the starting pitcher.
That you guys have seen.
Yeah, that we've seen them face. And they chased her in the 5th inning.
You're right. With good at-bats, too. I know
Right,
that.
yeah.
I know that some of them were easy walks, but, I mean, like, for example, Shiley Mason's 10-pitch walk, that set up Prince getting out of the game.
Right.
If it's not for that 10-pitch walk, which she fouled off like 5 pitches in a row, you're not looking at Casey having to come in, and maybe Lesnow doesn't hit Prince as well as she hits Casey.
Right.
Because at that point, she'd walked and hit a ground out to the shortstop. So it was a great game that you really wanted to see McAlester win, especially on senior night. But this Checotah Lady Wildcats team, they
are a very good team.
Yeah, they improved to 24-11.
Very good team.
Very good team. So let's go look at our final stats. And since you guys have covered nearly all the home games for McAlester softball this year, I'm going to let you have the final word after we get done with this. But to speak on behalf of you and Chase, but I'm going to go over the final stats here. Do we want to start off with Checotah or McAlester?
Let's start out with Checotah and give our seniors one last round of applause.
I think it's a great idea. The Checotah Lady Wildcats looked like this. Ham went 1 for 4. Lena Van Diver went 0 for 4. Haley Prince went 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI home run that happened back in the 3rd inning. Shaylin Casey went 1 for 3. She also does get I believe that's going to be a save tonight. Yeah, she got the save tonight.
Yeah.
So Prince still gets the win, but Casey gets the save. Casey went 1 for 3, by the way. Aurora Madewell went 1 for 2. Cheyenne Madewell went 0 for 3. Sydney West went 0 for 3. Sydney Hamilton went 0 for 3. And Micaiah Black 0 for 3. The Lady Wildcats only total up 4 hits. and they only had one going into like the 5th or 6th inning. But this is where they made their money. Haley Prince and Shaylin Casey combined for 12 strikeouts. So that was 12 out of the 21 outs that McAlester registered were strikeouts, but they gave up 9 free passes. But also no errors by the Checotah Lady Wildcat defense. For the McAlester Lady Buffaloes, who dropped to 2-17 on the season, they looked like this 1 through 9. Addison Pennington went 0 for 3 with an RBI walk. Avery Alberson 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and a walk. Rylan Lesnow 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI ground rule double. And man, if it doesn't bounce over the wall, I think we tie the game there.
Yeah.
Because it bounced over the wall. It was deep into the alleyway. I think it clears the bases if we don't have a turf field. That's the one problem with having the turf field in this moment, was that it was able to easier bounce over the wall. But alas, it did still score 2 runs, and she finishes 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI performance. Casey Woods went 0 for 1 with 3 free passes given to her, a walk, a hit by pitch, and another walk. She struck out in her other at-bat. Kirsten Smith went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Shiley Mason 1 for 3 with a double that made things super interesting in the 7th inning to put runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 down and a chance to tie or win the game. Coral Coy went 0 for 4, put the ball in play 3 times, though, all on the ground. Taylor Williams went 1 for 2 with a single, a hit by pitch, and a fly out to second base. And Jordan Washington went 1 for 2 with a strikeout, a hit by pitch, and a double. McAlester Lady Buffaloes, they totaled up 4 hits today as well. Shivey Mason struck out 4, only walked 1, but 4 McAlester errors early in the game put them behind, and they just couldn't get back up on top. So as you guys have covered McAlester softball for the home games all season long, save 2, I'm going to let Nate Brown have the final word on behalf of you and Chase McNutt.
I mean, this, like I was saying earlier, this is not the same team we saw at the beginning of the season against Stigler. We've seen a lot of strides being made by this team. A lot of it really just team chemistry. We've seen improved defense, and we've even seen the offense string together some hits, scoring 4 runs today against a very good pitching staff. I mean, either of those 2 pitchers would be starting, I would venture to guess, at least 90% of the schools in 5A. So this team is going in the right direction. The record may not show it, but this is a team with a lot of potential, and I cannot wait to see what they do.
I don't think I could have said it any better. If you're watching on the video stream right now, you see JV getting ready to play. So if you want to come watch a JV game, you could still have time to do so. We encourage you to do so if you have the time. But until the next time we call McAlester softball, which will more than likely be next season, I know that we have one more game for McAlester volleyball on schedule, and that will be a week from tonight, as we have a big one that McAlester volleyball really wants against Glenpool. And we were just talking about it with Coach Burns earlier today on Running with Herd. And we're probably going to speak with Coach Jernigan next week on Monday on Running with Herd if we're able to get the chance to. So we encourage you to tune in 8:30 in the morning. KNED will also be on our video stream on our YouTube there as well. But until the next time we can see you, probably Chase McNutt back on the call a week from today. We hope for everything for the best. He had a family emergency here tonight, but we were glad to see that he can go take care of that, and we can take care of this for him. So we're wishing the best for Chase and his family, and we wish him the best as we make our way into the nighttime hours here, and hope everything's all right. He has been checking in with us, and it seems like, things progressing, but in the right direction, but hopefully it continues to go that way. We thank Chase for all that he's done all year long for McAlester softball, and they've also invited him to the, and I believe you as well, to the softball banquet. So, yeah, I didn't tell you that before, but yeah,
you didn't tell me.
You're welcome. You guys have been invited, so we will probably see this softball team once again in the near future. But until then, guys, the final score here tonight, one final time, was the Checotah Lady Wildcats defeating the McAlester Lady Buffaloes of a final score of 5-4. So until next time, guys, don't just have a Buffalo night, or don't just have a great night, have a Buffalo night. Night, Harper.